Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric Nam, and welcome to K-Pop Daebak. I just wanted to point out before the show starts that we had some sound issues this week. So, sound quality is not where we wanted it to be, but hopefully you guys can bear with us. We're going to improve it, and we'll be back to our usual selves next week. But anyways, enjoy the show. Here's K-Pop Daebak.
Hey guys, this is Sam Kim, and you're listening to K-Pop Daebak with Eric Nam.
All right, we're back. It's going to sound a little different today because we're not in our normal studio. We are running around the city doing cool things with cool people. And so we are in a room that sounds a little more echoey, but this is K-Pop Daebak. But of course, we got to start it with a cool jingle. So, Brian, if you could jingle us in.
It's a different environment.
Just
The jingle gods have not blessed me. Wait, hold on.
Shit. You're cut.
I'm like actually blanking. What's the show called? Okay.
K-Pop Daebak Show with Eric Nam.
K-pop. Welcome, guys, to K-Pop Daebak with Eric Nam.
That's not a jingle. That's a shout. I need a jingle.
Okay. Welcome to K-Pop Daebak Week 3.
This is not week 3. This is week 4. Do it again.
Welcome to K-Pop Daebak with Eric Nam Week 4.
All right, that was subpar, but we'll go with it because I don't have high expectations for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the 4th episode of K-Pop Daebak. We just got to say thank you so much to everybody who have been listening, leaving us ratings and reviews on all the different platforms, subscribing and following us on iTunes and Spotify, and following us on our socials because thanks to you guys, we are the #1 podcast in Korea as a show overall, and #1 in the music category in Korea, in the US, where else? Like Australia, Indonesia, Czech Republic, Malaysia, Singapore, Switzerland. We're all over. I think we have 20-something countries where we are #1. Huh? Qatar. I don't know. That's so cool. It's crazy, insane, amazing. So thank you guys so much. And please keep doing what you're doing, and that is listening to my mundane stories and voice. Thank you. So yeah, we're not canceled for this week. We could be canceled if we drop in ratings. So you guys, you gotta keep the fire hot. So we have a lot to talk about today. But before that, I just want to give a big shout out to the team here because we're just killing it with all. Like, I think we're up from like 7 listeners to like 75. It's probably like 1 in every country. And that's pretty much how.
75 countries? How many countries are there?
There's like 200-something countries.
So
Again, this is what an Ivy League education gets you. He doesn't know how many countries. That's been listening to us.
I think we're both in the wrong game.
I don't know. I don't think you should try to connect me with you in any way. And of course, you guys can go ahead and talk to us on our socials. We are Daebak Show, Daebak Show on Instagram and Twitter. And you guys can listen to our curated playlist on Spotify or YouTube. The YouTube one obviously has music videos. Spotify, thank you. Spotify is just the songs. All the links are in our social media handles, on our stories, on the Twitters and Instagrams, all that kind of stuff. So, thank you again, and I might just retire, like, from the industry. I hit #1, and we beat NPR, and for me, NPR is a big deal. If you guys don't know what NPR is, it's National Public Radio in the U.S., and I grew up listening to that, and I still listen to it a lot, and we beat it. So our mom called us and was like, what's going on? We're like, we don't know. She goes, what is a podcast? How do I pay for it? We're like, you don't pay for it? She's like, well, what do you do? I was like, I just talk. And she's like, why would people listen to that? It's like, I don't know, but people are listening to it. So thank you guys. So let's just get started. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our first artist. Artist jingle #1. Hit it up.
TXT, cat and dog, jingle, cat and dog.
Thank you for the jingle, cat and dog. You guys, TXT, they just released a music video for Cat and Dog. They did it unannounced, kind of like Beyonce did it. So Good job, guys. It is their, I guess, new single from their EP, The Dream Chapter Star. It was posted and released on April 24th, the music video. TXT has 5 members, Yeonjun, Subin, Pyeongyun, Taehyun, and Hwang Kai. Man, can you make any more sound with your papers there, bro?
Hey, I said that last time.
Yeah, but you're like literally rustling stuff together on purpose.
Sorry.
Okay,
bro.
give me a paper rustle. Okay, there you go. There you get it. What you get from the music video is very aesthetically similar to Crown, and it's a little more EDM-y with a little more rap than their debut single. And this is off their first release, right? Off their EP, right? So, which I thought was a very interesting thing because what you see in Korea is you don't see a lot of groups pushing a single from a same album, and a lot of that is, I think, political, because what you find is the TV shows, they don't allow you to do multiple songs off one album. But I think in the case of TXT, especially because they are with BTS, they are able to promote another single off the same album, which is great. I'm excited to see what they do in the future. TXT is short for Tomorrow by Together, and so I was actually working on a version of Crown for TXT before it came out, and it sounds very different, very different from what it is today and what it is now. But they'll have tracks and they'll send it out to top liners or melody makers like myself. I don't really write in terms of the tracks, but I do a lot of melodies and lyrics.
Are you allowed to play that?
No, I don't want to get into trouble.
Again.
Again, I don't want to do that. So, okay, speaking of which, you guys really blew that out of context. I don't know who or what or how they picked that up, but you guys, I'm working on a song with a member. That does not mean that we are collaborating technically we're collaborating, right? Like literally collaborating, working on songs together, but that does not mean that I'm absolutely 100% releasing a song with BTS.
Because you write.
Because I write with a lot of people. I write with people from all over the world. I write with people all over Korea constantly and regularly. And I have artists who come to me and ask for songs for their albums and that kind of stuff. But again, that does not mean that there is a dead serious BTS X Eric Nam song coming. I would love for that to happen, but I did not say that. I never implied that. But again, I know people get excited and they run for the hills for it. But yes, I have written with people of the group. That is all I will say. I will leave it there. And I would love for the song to come out one day. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's just the way the industry works. There are great songs that I have with huge artists that will probably never see the light of day. And that's just the way the industry works. There are songs that are written for certain purposes that never get released. There are songs that are written and you never think it's going to get released, and then somehow it just makes it onto the radio. So it's kind of a interesting process. But anyways, I just wanted to clear that up before I have people like mad at me for whatever reason, because that was never the intention.
So when's your song come out with BTS?
Do you want to die?
I can't believe you're Halsey.
You're Halsey? Oh my God.
You guys, my real name's Halsey. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited to see what TXT has in the future. And all right, so next up we have a surprise song from EXO's Chanyeol, his first solo vocally singing song, China's 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울, SSFW. Sing us away.
EXO Chanyeol solo.
That's not a jingle. You really don't understand what a jingle means.
Well, I only have so many limited rhythms and beats.
찬여 봄 여름 가을 겨울.
That was amazing. That's amazing.
Pronunciation though is pretty good.
It's not bad. It's not the best, but we'll give it to you. 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울 is actually, in Korea, they're a legendary rock band. I actually sang one of their songs when I was on an audition program, 8 years ago. And the song was called also 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울. I was pleasantly surprised by Chanyeol's vocals, because he's technically the main rapper, one of the main rappers for EXO. And this is part of SM Station #3. So SM Station, pretty much what they do is I think it's a way for SM to put out interesting songs that isn't necessarily on brand with what a group or a member is doing, and it's a good way for them to kind of push out solo stuff without having it be a complete solo project. I took part in SM Station the first time around with Wendy. So Spring Love was a part of SM Station #1. So this is SM Station #3 with EXO's Chanyeol's solo song. It's pretty much a pop ballad about a love that lasts all year. He also has Japanese and Chinese versions of it for those of you who do like other languages versions of it. And the music video was shot in, I want to say it's like Hawaii. It looked very nice. It looked very tropical. He's driving a yellow Mustang or something. And the visuals were just very feel good. It made me want to just jump into the video and just be on the beach. And that's about it. Very simply shot, but the colors are very beautifully done. The song I saw was written by Dawn and I think Minjishin and I think Andrew. Let me look it up. Let's look it up real quick. Let's look it up. So Andrew Choi, like we wrote Can't Help Myself, which is my song. Mingjishin and Dawn, all of whom I've written with before. So Dawn and I worked on a song a few months ago. Amazing track record as a songwriter.
Then Eric decided to play Don's version of Eric's song to prove what a great musician Don is. Yay Don.
I love his voice. Hey. Okay, anyways, that's all you get because he sounds better than me. That is Dawn. So the songwriters, again, were Andrew Choi, Minjishin, and Dawn, and they did this song, EXO's Chanyeol's SSFW. EXO made their most recent comeback last fall in 2018 with their 5th album, Don't Mess Up My Tempo, Don't Mess Up My Tempo, and Love Shot. And again, this is, Love Shot, going back to the single thing, Love Shot was released as a repackage. So they would have to physically record new songs, repackage the entire album, and then release it to call it a single.
Oh.
Right? It's very complicated. Like I would love off my Honestly album, I would love to have pushed Honestly and then Potion and then Don't Call Me and just go in order and just release everything as a single. But apparently, it's not allowed.
It's illegal.
I don't even know if it's illegal.
Go
It's
to
just
jail.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, big scary laws. Oh gosh. Anyways, that's it. The song I think is very just easy listening kind of thing, and yeah, I think EXO members are going through like their now solo project. So Chen released his solo project. Chanyeol's just doing his thing. I think I read somewhere that maybe Baekhyun's doing a solo project. I think SM is doing kind of like a big year for the solo artists. So Taeyeon's been releasing a lot. Speaking of which, SM's been loving the seasons recently. Taeyeon had a song also called The Four Seasons. This is called literally SSFW. So
And
I don't know.
Chance is called Pom.
Yeah, and Chance is called Spring, Boom, something like that. So they're loving the seasons. Let's see. And I'm sure you guys know, if you guys are EXO fans, if you guys are Chanyeol fans, then he is a prolific songwriter in his own right. He has a lot of songs that he writes, a lot of lyrics that he writes, and you can often find him playing the guitar, playing the piano in his studio or on his socials. That's what I got for Chanyeol. Let's move on to the next one. Here's JYP Twice's Fancy. Sing us in.
Before I sing us in,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day I get my own mic.
Your own mic?
Yeah.
You don't have that
That
privilege.
day didn't exist.
One day.
You
One
dreamt
day.
that day.
Let's see. JYP Twice as Fancy.
Fancy, fancy, fancy. JYP Twice is fancy. Listen closely, guys. It's a new song by Twice.
Fancy, fancy, fancy. Yeah, fancy, fancy, fancy. Oh.
Is that actually what it sounds like?
No.
I haven't listened to it.
All right, so if I'm sure you guys know, if you don't know, Twice is made up of 9 members: 나연, 정연, 모모, 사나, 지효, 미나, 다현, 채영, and Chui. Period. We're gonna leave it there. So Twice, formed in 2015 through their reality idol survival series 16, and Fancy is their comeback song off their new and 7th mini album called Fancy You. It is a dance-heavy song about a deep crush, someone you fancy. For me, I thought this song was a very big departure from what they've done in the past. I think they've been doing a lot of cuter, cutesy, aegyo kind of things, and this was a lot more in the more mature, almost sexy kind of category, which is not a bad thing. I think it's just a departure and maybe a sign that they're going to start going into a new chapter or a new era of music and visuals for them. Of course, they have been taking over the charts with every single release that they do. Okay, so 2015, Twice debuts with Like Ooh Ah. Remember that one? Ooh ah, na 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 na. Okay, sorry, I'm the only one that knows that. Anyways, so yes, Twice debuted in 2015 with Like Ooh Ah, and they have really just taken off since their debut. I think one of the biggest things that really got them up and running and just huge was Cheer Up. Cheer up, baby, cheer up, baby. But they've been, really taking a lot of the awards. Song of the Year has been a regular award for them. They're the first Korean girl group to earn platinum certification in Japan. Their third EP, Twice Coaster, was the highest selling girl group album in 2016. And they're just killing it, period. So this song was written by Black Eyed Peas and Jungkook and Pyeongguk by Rado. So Black Eyed Peas, they have been around for a long time. They have done a lot of great hit songs. They are particularly, I think, very good at girl group songs and female solo artist songs. They've been around for a long time writing separately, not as Black Eyed Peas. Before Black Eyed Peas, they would do like Hyuna and 4 Minute, Tiara, A-Pink, Sisters, Touch My Body. So a lot of great songs. I think they also did like Teen Top, a few of their songs. And then, oh man, yeah. So they have like Miss A, they have Got 7, a lot of Twice titles, like Ooh Ah is their first song. They have Cheer Up, TT, A-Pink, they have, what is it, 청아's 벌써 12시, Twice's Fancy. So they have a ton of songs. So that's why they're really good at like this addictive melody, addictive production thing. But yeah, so they're amazing songwriters. We actually, one of them, so we go to the same gym, so I see him every once in a while on the treadmill, and we say what's up. But yeah, Twice has been really cool to watch their rise. I think they're obviously one of the most like representative groups of K-pop for girl groups. If you think about major girl groups, there are a few that come to mind. There's right now at this moment probably Twice, Blackpink, Red Velvet. But I think in Korea, like those three are as they are the big three companies, probably the most representative at this moment, in my humble opinion. Blackpink, I feel, is a very Western focused visual and sound, a lot more maybe hardcore Western influence. Twice, on the other hand, they're, I think, very, very like Asia focused in their melodies, song style, and aesthetic. And I think a big part of that is a smart move because there's a reason you have Japanese members and like members from all over like Asia into this group. It's interesting to see that. And then it's JYP, it's to the point where they have a Thai version of almost every release. So they have a CD, DVD, posters, all that kind of stuff just for Thailand as well. So just to say how focused they are in terms of Asia. But yeah, it's, I think every time Twice is out and performing, it's always cool to see like what addictive melody they come out with. Twice, if you guys don't know, they were put together through their reality survival show called 16. And Chun So-mi, who was the winner of Produce 101, member of IOI, she was actually part of that competition as well. She obviously didn't make it, so she is now a solo artist under YG's Black label as of recently. But yeah, if you think about the recent groups that have been very successful in the past few years, a lot of them have come from TV reality shows, like survival shows. Did we talk about this before?
Mhm.
We did.
Yeah.
And then again, like Twice, they're top of the charts. All right, so yeah, let's just move on. That was Twice's Fancy. If you guys haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. You guys will, if you see the music video, I actually, when I first saw it, I thought a lot of Girls' Generation, Sone시대, when they went from like the cute to more sexy concept. Immediately watching it, I thought of like Mr. Taxi, which was released probably 7-8 years ago. But it was visually very similar to me watching that. Yeah, so let's just move on. We have a few artists that we want to shout out this week, introduce to you guys. I think you guys like listening to some of the more indie underground artists that we mentioned before. So here is one for you guys, Babylon. 너의 두 눈 속 빛나는 달. Babylon is a Korean R&B artist, and he has a new song out. And I just wanted to point out because I think he has a great voice. He has a great voice. He's been featured on a lot of cool songs. I think he's very well known and respected in more of the indie underground R&B world. And he's collaborated with major people as well, such as Verbal Jint, Chungha, Toki, B2B's Irun. If you guys are in Korea in May, he has a show in Hongdae, 상상마당, May 24th. I just personally really like his voice. I wanted to point it out to you. Check it out. He has some great songs. The other person we wanted to say what's up to is GOT7's Jackson, Team Wang. He has a solo song called Oxygen that he released earlier this month in April, and happy for him, and I'm so proud of that dude. If you guys haven't seen the interview where he interviewed me a few years ago, I want Jackson on here so I can verbally assault him with questions. All right, guys, so we're going to have our ramblings. Let's ramble.
How is your mind right now?
My mind is so messed up. Guys, I literally took a picture yesterday of my face just crooked, and I'm going to post it saying, this is my mind right now. I'm in a billion places. Like yesterday, I don't even know what I did yesterday. Hold on, I do know what I did. I shot like a bunch of videos.
Should we tell people what had happened?
Yes,
'Cause
so
it actually ruined my morning so much.
so yesterday was Thursday. Just to give you guys an idea, we got up at like 8 a.m. after I went to bed at like 4, I think.
I got up at 7 after
Yeah.
going to bed at 6.
Yeah, there we go. We're just hustling for you, all 75 of you guys who are listening to this podcast. This is how hard we work for you, okay? We don't sleep. So we get up, we head over to the office. By the way, Diane has been gracious enough to let us use her office when we're recording this because up until this point, we were recording on my kitchen counter and it was just not working for us. So we get here, we record, and then I head off to get hair and makeup to do a bunch of events and shooting, and then we get oh no. It's like, what? It's gone. What's gone? Don't tell me. The file of what? The podcast.
I think what I literally...
What? So yes. So we're back here recording now. We were trying to recreate things that we talked about, but it's fine because I think today's is a lot more concise and to the point. And there's stuff that we should have taken out yesterday anyways.
Yeah.
So
I will say, because you've been so crazed and so busy getting ready for comeback, I was wondering what Brian does at the house to help you out as a fellow roommate.
Oh, absolutely nothing. Okay, you guys, let's be very clear. Brian's value as a roommate is like -35. All right, not even 0. It's negative.
Eric,
What?
just because you have the mic, all right?
No.
Give me a chance.
Okay, go ahead. I'll give you a chance.
Guys, everything he says is a lie.
All right, you're kicked out of my
I-
house. You're not allowed in.
I'm possibly
changing the
the best roommate
password.
that you could ask for.
Are you kidding
I
me?
do the dishes every morning. I do the laundry. I scrub his bathroom floor 2 times a day, morning and night.
Yo, this guy's so full of crap. This
Let me
guy's
follow
so
up
full of
this.
crap. Okay, you guys, let me explain. This kid wears all my clothes. He eats all my food, and he makes me order like the craziest stuff for him. Like this kid eats like pumpkins all the time. So
There's a reason why.
why?
Okay.
Brian loves pumpkins. He
Well,
just-
it's not. I didn't go straight into pumpkins. You make me sound like a crazy person.
no, there's
It
nothing.
was there's a transition.
Okay,
phase.
what was the
I
transition
came
into pumpkins?
I came from the States.
So did
Right.
I. So did Diane. We're
I
all
came
from
to
the
the
States.
6 months ago.
So
Okay. And there are these Korean potatoes called kolma, and they're like potatoes, but they're sweet. Okay, they're sweet potatoes.
wow, Brian, are you sure you're from the
But no,
States?
but they're not the American sweet potatoes. They're not orange.
Get to your point.
My point is, I went from kolma, Korean sweet potato, to, I think that introduced me into like the pumpkin family of taste buds, of taste, preferred taste.
Okay.
And then I got interested in eating pumpkins.
Okay, so let me explain this from my perspective. Okay, this kid, he goes back and forth between New York and Korea regularly. But this kid, he shows up and he's like, I need pumpkins. I was like, what? So I literally buy this guy
A
like
patch.
physical pumpkins, right? Like actual pumpkins, which like the first time I bought it for him, he's like, I don't know what to do with this. So I literally cooked him pumpkins. Okay, you guys, I've made it in the world, but I still make my baby brother cooked pumpkins, okay? And then he's like, oh, but these pumpkins aren't good, so I need like this type of pumpkin. So I online order him, and we import canned pumpkins, organic canned pumpkins for this guy. Okay, Brian, before he was living in Korea, like I don't want to say living in Korea, like coming more often, he's very food conscious, which is good, which is great. But okay, so this kid orders oatmeal like it's like air. So there's just oatmeal all over the house. I used to love oatmeal. I don't like oatmeal anymore because of Brian. So this kid will cook oatmeal, leave an oatmeal, if you guys don't know, it has like a sticky consistency. So if you don't clean it right away, it just hardens and it's just like, I'm sorry, this is gross. It's like boogers and it's stuck onto the bowl. This kid will stack up every single bowl in my house of unwashed oatmeal. And then he has canned pumpkins that he eats with his oatmeal. And he will leave the canned pumpkins, right? Like after he pours them into like a separate container, he will not rinse them out. He just leaves them out. And the cans will start molding with pumpkin.
Hey,
What? And then, so, okay, I understand where he's going with this. So he'll have the oatmeal and he'll put water into it so that it'll be easier to clean later on, right? But the problem is he doesn't clean it ever. So then we have moldy wastewater and moldy pumpkins, and he doesn't clean it.
guys.
What?
Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
No,
Give me the mic.
you're not
Give me
allowed.
the mic.
You're not allowed.
You
First
know
off-
about strawberries?
First off, have you ever read the nutrition facts on the back of the pumpkin?
I don't care about nutrition facts
Do you know how
of
much
pumpkins.
vitamin A
You guys,
is in there?
if you guys want vitamin A, go ahead, eat your pumpkins.
Your pumpkins. Second, Eric,
What?
you're not perfect.
I know I'm not perfect.
You're not perfect. I've seen your strawberries.
Ew.
And I'm not referring to it. It's literally strawberries. Alright? Eric loves strawberries. And he also leaves them out.
Okay.
We've had a batch of strawberries that have, I don't know what you call it, like fermented into moldy balls of.
Okay, let me explain. So, okay, I like
I'm gonna Google a
strawberries, and I buy strawberries, but I can't eat a full pack. It's just too many. But Brian doesn't eat strawberries. So I don't know
Why are
why.
you putting this on me?
I'm not putting it on you. I'm
Those
just
are
saying.
your strawberries.
So I'm just saying. So I have these strawberries. And by the way, Korea has the best strawberries in the world. They're not like American strawberries that are bitter. They're like sugar, They're just delicious. So I get strawberries, and if you don't eat them fast enough, they go bad very quickly. But I have not been in the house because all I do is work. I just work constantly. And so when I'm in, I just go in, I sleep, and I leave. The strawberries went bad. They weren't horrible, but they had just a little bit of mold on them. They
That
got a
is
little
not true.
mushy. They got a little mushy. So
No.
then I put them next to Brian's canned pumpkins that were molding everywhere. So wait, so I leave them right by the pumpkins, hoping that maybe Brian would grow up and say, I'm gonna do the dishes and take out these pumpkins that I've been letting mold. He doesn't. He doesn't do it for 5 days. So what happens to the strawberries? They turn into little Furbies.
Wait, are you
They
linking
turn-
my pumpkins to your strawberries?
Yes, your pumpkins is
They were
the
separate.
impetus.
were
They are the
separate.
inception of my furball strawberries. And they literally, I will admit, look like live animals. That are just,
They were literally like Furbies. Those
they were
toys.
Furbies. They were like cotton balls. They were like dust balls, and it was disgusting. But
But that just shows it's half my fault and like more your fault.
I want to say it's 95% your fault, and then 5% my fault.
It's 95% Brian's fault, 5% strawberries.
Yes, strawberries. I told strawberries not to mold. So
I think it's the mindset.
I think you need to
So
move
I
out of
think
my
it's
house.
more-
I think you need to go back to
Okay,
America
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
Okay, it was 95% my fault.
Oh my god. So if you guys think Brian should get fired, please go ahead and let us know on our socials.
Guys,
Follow
please,
us.
I need this. That's all I have.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and leave us some messages so we can decide Brian's fate. We should just ship him off back into America. And any other ramblings? Yes, I have a song coming out May 8th. It sounds amazing. It sounds like fire for your ears, but the non-harmful kind. And I can't wait to tell you guys more about it because it's such a good song. And if you guys are in Europe, I'm on tour in Europe. I'll be doing 12 shows across Europe. We'll be in Lisbon, Madrid, Milan, Prague, Warsaw, Brussels, Amsterdam, Paris, London. Am I missing anything? I'm sorry if I did. Oh, Berlin and Cologne. So if you guys are in any of the cities, please come hang out with us and say what's up, and we're gonna have a party, and I'll be performing a bunch of songs. Okay, guys, have a great week, have a great day, have a great morning, wherever you are. If you're commuting to work, if you're going to school, if you're studying for exams, hope you guys have a good time. I don't know. Eat your strawberries.
And pumpkins.
And pumpkins. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Thank you guys again for all of the support and the success you guys have caused us. Love you guys. Sing us out.
Pumpkins are the way to go if you're trying to be healthy.
Stop it. Bye.